I think a few weeks ago I told you about my brother Jim trying to ride the calf. Old Rowdy was his calf name. Dad had bought 2 calves, actually bought one, and then a few weeks later bought another one. And Jim's was the older one, Rowdy. Mine was, excuse me, mine was Buck. Rowdy was somewhat bigger than Buck. My granddaddy, or probably great-granddaddy McCord, had an old Ox Yoke. He had worked oxen as a younger man. And he had the old Ox Yoke. I don't know if you're familiar with what they look like or not, but it's a large beam, and it's cut out to go over the necks of both the oxen. There's a bow on each side that you put up around their neck. You fasten whatever they're going to pull to the yoke, and they pull, pushing against it with their shoulders, pulls it. We had the old Ox Yoke, and that's kind of a miracle because we hadn't cut it up for kindling or made something else out of it or anything. It was hanging in the barn. As Rowdy got a little bigger, Jim was talking about we'll break them to work to the yoke. Well, Buck wasn't big enough to hold up one end of the yoke very well. So Jim gets the idea. He puts the yoke on Rowdy, and he has me to hold the other end of it while he gets the yoke on Rowdy. Then he puts his head in the other side, and they walk around out there, and Rowdy would pretty well do whatever Jim wanted to for a little while. And so it keeps nearly falling off Jim, so he gets him a string so he can tie it so it won't fall off. And they walk around and out into the barnyard just a little bit, and back and forth in the hall of the barn mostly, but out into the barnyard just a little and back into the hallway. One Sunday, we have a lot of company there. Probably was one of those times when we had all the songwriters there after a singing school. But Jim gets the idea that this would be a good time for everybody to see what Rowdy can do. So he tells me, you go up to the gate between the pasture and the yard, and when I get up there, you open that gate. Let me on out into the yard. Okay, I can do that. So Jim gets all harnessed up there, gets Rowdy harnessed up, and Jim's in the other side of the yoke. And here they come up from the barn, and I open the gate. They go on out into the yard. Well, when Rowdy gets into the yard, he begins to pick up the pace a little bit. Well, Jim is tied into this yoke down with his head down. He has no choice but to go along with him. By the time they go by the front porch there at the house, they're moving pretty good. Rowdy's not intending to go back. Jim starts hollering, hey, hey, hey. Well, everybody's just dying laughing. And they go by the house, and Jim is hollering at the top of his voice. He says, head us off, head us off. Can't you see we're running away? That is my brother Jim's experience with the Ox Yoke. Thank you.